Have you ever wondered why it sometimes just feels like you're running in circles? You were planning to do one thing but ended up doing something completely different? And well, you're just constantly distracted and can't seem to focus for longer than 5 minutes. And you're constantly looking for the next snack or looking for another comment on your new Instagram post. It is our addictions that keep us stuck. We're all addicts. I'm an addict. And I hate to break it to you, but you're an addict too. And especially in times of COVID-19, our addictions seem to have intensified for many of us. There's just less to do outside and less distractions. And so we seem to have this social approval blanket draped around us saying, hey, what else is there to do? So we get stuck in mindlessly scrolling our phones, binging the next series, reaching for the next Oreo or Ben & Jerry's ice cream. But at its core, what are our addictions? Our addictions are these little band-aids that we put on our emotional wounds because we just can't or are unwilling to deal with them. So instead of being with the pain, we're looking for something pleasurable to distract us, to take us anywhere but here. And like Eckhart Tolle says, addictions are always a circle. They start with pain and they end with pain. And honestly, in some ways these smaller, more socially acceptable addictions are a lot worse than the actual addictions like alcoholism or being addicted to hard drugs. I'm not saying that being addicted to these kind of drugs are very bad and it's terrible for you and can destroy your health and your life in a very short amount of time. But at least it's easier to see that you are addicted. But what about these softer, more socially acceptable drugs? Let's start with the most obvious. We have cigarettes, we have caffeine, but we also have sugar or food addiction in general, sex addiction, porn addiction, being addicted to destructive relationships, being addicted to YouTube, to binging series, and the very big one that each one of us is highly addicted to, thinking. Yes, even thinking is a very big addiction for all of us. It's meant to take us somewhere, just anywhere but here. Somewhere we don't have to feel the pain, this present moment. So we create thoughts, we follow our thoughts. And it's the same with all the other addictions that I named before. They're meant to take us somewhere but here. And so we grab a cookie, and then we grab another one. And I swear to God, it's the last one. But you know it's never the last one. And the reason why these softer addictions are so terrible is because they're virtually everywhere and they're completely accepted as such. And why a biscuit, for example, is not inherently bad, our abusing it for an emotional first aid is what makes it so. And it's one thing to avoid alcohol or harder drugs for the rest of your life, but try to avoid sugar or food in general. It's impossible. You'll be tempted for the rest of your life, daily, hourly. And most of us don't even realize that we are addicts. But what does it actually mean to be addicted? Being addicted means that we have become reliant on an outside source to give us pleasure, to give us this short hit of dopamine, of serotonin, to make us feel better. This, of course, after a while, makes us dependent on these outside stimuli to make us feel good on the inside, which creates a vicious cycle in and of itself. But also one very big thing that's often overlooked is that these little addictions are sucking away our energy. They're little sucking devices that take away our life force away from us through distraction. Like in the scene of The Matrix where Neo finally wakes up in his slimy cocoon and realizes that he has all these suction devices, these cables all over his arms and legs that take away and use his biological energy to feed into a machine that some AI robots have created.
What does that mean?
It means buckle your seatbelt, Dorothy, because Kansas is going bye-bye.
And do you remember this very big one at the back of his head? Which is the biggest energy suction device also for us. It's our thoughts. Our constant thinking takes so much energy, so much processing power away from us that we're always in a state of lack. And all the other small addictions that we have just come on top of that, taking us away from the present moment. So, can you see now how all these addictions that we have steal away our precious life energy, leaving us always feeling tired and not really focused? But there's another really big thing about addictions. It's why we established those in the first place. They're trying to distract us from something that we need to realize and feel internally. They're constantly taking us away, promising us pleasure and fulfillment, but just make us avoid asking this big question on the inside. Why do I feel so lost? For one thing, it's this lack of connection and meaning in our lives. And of course, now with COVID-19 and lockdowns and all, this has been exacerbated, but even before that, we're 24/7 connected to devices but suffer a deep loss of connection to others and to ourselves. We climb the career ladder, get a good paying job, a wife, a house, a family, a nice new car, but then we're still deeply dissatisfied and unhappy on our insides. This outside rat race will never give us what we're really looking for. Because what we're yearning for is fulfillment on the inside. And the only way to achieve this is to face our emotions, not to run away from them, but being present with them, feeling them, waiting what's on the other side, and not just putting another band-aid on top of it. Hey there, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, could I please ask you to like, subscribe, and maybe hit the bell button? It's only a few clicks for you, but it really means the world to me because it's the only way my channel can grow and other people can also benefit from my content. Thank you so much for your help.